Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another STProductions video. I'm your host, SK. And this Let's Talk, I've been doing a lot of these. In terms of scheduling, it's a lot earlier than I wanted to. However, due to the past couple weeks of drama that's happened, I just felt like I wanted to record this video. Not only for myself, but also for those of you who may or may not share the same opinions as me, and just wanted a outlet or some kind of place where you can discuss about it and, hopefully you don't get burned at the stake for it. Now, before I get started, the opinions that have been said here are mine and mine alone. I don't wish to start any fights, I don't wish to cause any drama, and I definitely do not want anybody chasing me down. Please don't. Now, without further ado, again, this is a serious video. This is going to be a topic about a serious topic. Now, I'm going to rip off the band-aid. What am I talking about? Anime rape. Now, for those of you that may or may not have been watching this core, or have just been, reading the Twitter feeds or the social media or whatever, you've been noticing people talking about, this anime is disgusting, or this anime is it totally, was it that they say? It advocates rape or whatever. And by the way, I don't like saying or talking about the word that is rape, but unfortunately I can't just be like, it's sexual assault. Yes, it is technically sexual assault. However, it's by proper definitions, it is rape. However, what am I talking about? So this fall season has two animes that have depicted rape. Now, I have my notes in front of me. The first one being Goblin Slayer, the second one being Sword Art Online. Now, Goblin Slayer, quite frankly, in the first episode, right from the get-go, to set the tone and the story and be like, this is what you're walking into, people get fucked up. I don't know how else to say it. They get assaulted both by being eaten, beaten, and fornication. We'll go with that. And without consent, of course. And that started the first surge of kind of the storm, the drama, the fire of, oh my god, anime rape, what the hell? Why are we having this stuff in this kind of stuff? This is disgusting. It advocates rape and the creators are sex offenders or something along those lines. But eventually it kind of petered out. Then, a couple weeks back, as of this recording, Sword Art Online, they had a rape scene. It was definitely assault, but it did not get to the point of penetration without consent. It did not reach that point. However, it was basically depicted as anime rape. Now, the reason for this video is because I want to talk about some points when it comes to this drama, not only for myself, but again for you. I have 5 points and some extra notes that I had with discussions with my friends, which is, so right from the get-go, my first point when it comes to this whole topic of anime rape is, when it comes to fiction, fiction and non-fiction, and even think when you learned, in your cultural or historical studies, like Greek studies, the Odysseys, how many times has rape been depicted and kind of been written and sung about? Like, Zeus wasn't exactly the kind of person who'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna wait for a yes. Nah, he just went in there. And, even modern stuff, say, for example, Game of Thrones. I don't watch that, unfortunately. Sorry. Even, that have depictions of rape in it. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it has it. And people are cool with that. I'm not saying they're cool with it, but, it's still depicted there. So, why specifically are people picking on Goblin Slayer and Sword Art Online? Why that media? Why that outlet? My second point when it comes to the anime rape discussion is definitely, just because a person writes or, screenplays or whatever, just because they write about rape does not necessarily mean that they advocate for it or are a rapist or a sexual deviant, as it were. For example, for Kawahara Reki, the guy has been serialized, has over 3 novels over 3, 4, 5, 6. He has a lot of titles that have been serialized, and he's been writing for such a long time. He's had all this time to honestly show a little bit of his true colors, and he's had all that time to kind of screw up. What do I mean? Take, for example, the Infinite Stratos writer. It turns out after 6 novels, which was about roughly, I think, a couple of years, 6 years, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't have the dates exactly in my head. Turns out he's a super racist. Like, really, really racist. So, yeah, Kawahara Reki has been publicized for this long, and he's had that amount of time to really just show that, you know, he could have been a sex offender or an advocate of, you know, of sexual deviancy. Yeah, again, just because they write about it doesn't necessarily mean that they mean it. Now, my third point when it comes to this is, no matter what, rape is a serious discussion. It is a serious topic and should not be jested about. You know, if you or anyone that you know has been a victim of this, please help them. Please make sure that the authorities are contacted. Try to get them, you know, the proper help that they need. Okay? I'm gonna get that out there. This is a serious topic, nevertheless. But continuing with my third point is, and when it comes to literature, movies, TV shows, and radio dramas, whatever media outlet that you want, in the fictional setting, not in non-fiction, not in real life, but in a fictional setting, rape is a tension device. Is it a good or bad tension device? I can't be the judge of that. I'm not going to be the judge of that. However, in terms of what it is a tension device. You know, plain and simple. My next point, my fourth point out of the 5 is, when it comes to this point, you know, everyone has their own opinion, everyone stands on their own view, everyone has their own, you know, their own 2 cents to throw into this. There is no right side when it comes to this discussion. What I mean that there is no right side. When it comes to the topic of rape, to not talk about it is to ignore it and to kind of be ignorant of the fact that it happens. To talk about it kind of will cause trauma and discomfort to those that have been affected by it, or those that are, again, uncomfortable with this topic. Again, it is a catch-22 situation. There is no winning. There is no right side. There is no true justice, as it were. No, there's none of that. It's just, it has to be discussed in a serious tone, in a serious setting, and there is no right side. You know, I've seen and heard of both sides. You know, there are the people that say you're taking it too seriously, and then there are the people that are on the other side. I was about to say overly sensitive. I'm going to say the other side, which is saying this is totally not acceptable. This is disgusting. And I get both sides. I get it. However, you know, there is no right. There is no proving anyone wrong, regardless. You know, again, like with what I just said, rape is a serious topic and must be depicted as serious and nothing else. My final point when it comes to this discussion is, when it comes to those, you know, whether it be an individual or group, when it comes to those that have, you know, put out into the social media world, on the forums, Twitter, Facebook, whatever have you, you know, in my opinion, now this is my opinion alone for this final point, is I find that people are putting too much drama and focus on the fictional media outlets. Now, what I mean by that, why are they focusing so much on fictional aspects when in real life this happens? You know, why are we causing such a craze and a hellstorm fire for these series, which, again, I see and get the point, but when that energy and that passion, as it were, and that kind of call to justice and help could be, you know, kind of diverted, or not deemed diverted, but can be redirected to the real thing, to real victims, to real people that have been affected by this. Again, why is it that they're only focusing on the fictional aspect? So, I put this on my Twitter to discuss about it, saying that I was going to discuss about something serious, and it took me a little bit of time to kind of come up with my words and kind of a way to present this, and a bit of audio screwing up. But anyways, I wanted to talk about this because, I discussed this with my friends, and, I'd say that we're pretty reasonable people. We see both sides, and we didn't like the extremists of both sides, as it were. But again, it was that venting and that kind of, it was definitely that venting aspect that my friends experienced, that I felt like, okay, I want to talk about this so that I can provide you, the audience, a way to vent out yourselves. Kind of, if you feel passionately about saying, like, you guys are taking this too seriously, or you guys are not taking this seriously enough, I want to provide that. I wanted to make this video and kind of just bring it to light, as it were. Now, next up, I do have some points here in front of me, which my friend asked me, some questions and some extra notes I have. My friend asked me, how did I feel, with the overly sensitive people, that it forces content creators in general to think about, what they're about to put out in regards of rape. Now, in my personal opinion, I responded with, a creator should consider their fans' opinion. However, they should not skew their original idea or view of their story or their content that they're making to make the fans happy. They are published for a reason, and not the fans. And now this is from the very practical point of view. Goblin Slayer and Sword Art Online Alicization volume, volume 8? No, that was 9, 10, 11. I'm pretty sure it was 11. Yeah, it was 11. Those stories have been out for at least 6 years. I'm not so sure about Goblin Slayer, sorry about that, but at least for the rape scene in Sword Art Online, I knew it was going to happen. I read it before it was even animated. I knew it was there, and, I'm not saying I wasn't uncomfortable. I wasn't, trying to downplay it, but I'm just saying I knew about it. It was out for 6 years prior to the airing of this episode. In the web version of the novel, that was published 10 years prior. And that actually did have penetration without consent. The girls were actually raped. So, it's taken over 10 years for it to come up. Now, this is the whole kind of like, oh, if it's been out there for 10 years, is it really a spoiler kind of thing? See, again, I understand people's views and opinions, but you have to understand, this has been out for quite some time. Why is it now that you're bringing it up? Again, are we gonna play the police or the social justice kind of justice, execution, and witch hunt for every book, every show, everything that depicts this and makes us uncomfortable? I don't know. Maybe you should. So, I'm not gonna say maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't, but I'm just saying that, hey, look at it. Sword Art Online and Goblin Slayers, their dramatic tension parts, they've been out for quite some time. So, take that as you will. Finally, when it comes to at least Sword Art Online, Kawahara Reki did go out on Twitter. He did apologize to the voice actor saying, hey, I'm so sorry for putting you in that kind of uncomfortable position. I didn't mean to put you in that position. And the voice actors themselves replied saying, hey, it's okay. Hey, it made us stronger. It's what you have to go through as an actor. And, if you don't do it, then you can't exactly say you're an actor, because you have to go in those areas. And, furthermore, Kawahara Reki even said that when he wrote Alicization, again, 10 years ago before, he was influenced by what he read and watched at the time, which is why he used those tension devices as what they were tension devices. You know, he didn't have, you know, I don't know him personally, but I'm just saying as a writer or creator or whatever, you know, you get influenced by other creators in terms of what devices or kind of plot points or kind of how they build things so that you can use what they have and kind of take your spin on it. So, you know, that's what happened. And then he said, he even admitted himself, you know, he was influenced at the time. It may not have been a good idea. And he's had all this time to kind of revise it, but he didn't revise it because it would have affected the entirety, the integrity and the kind of fluidity of his story. Do I blame him for it? No. And would I have wanted him to take it out of the, you know, in the final revision? No. Honestly, that point, especially for Goblin Slayer, because that one is kind of, that is what it is, but, you know, but for Goblin Slayer and for Sword Art Online, I don't want them to take it out. It should stay in there just for the sake of, you know, the integrity of the story. So with that said, you know, with all my blabbering, and hopefully I didn't go over too much time, and I didn't waste too much of your time, you know, rape is real, and it happens in real life, and it is serious. But my point is that people have the best of intentions, and I know where they're coming from, but their approach is a little bit skewed. So this whole rape drama in anime, you know, it shouldn't have happened, but hey, it happens and I understand why. So with that said, this has been a Let's Talk for ST Productions. I am your host, SK. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe with your opinions or anything else that you want me to talk about or whatever have you. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully not as serious and not as flame-causing as this one has been, but I'll see you all in the next video. Check you later, guys.